We can take a closer look at this with DW political correspondent Simon Young. Welcome, Simon. We've just heard about one of the states voting this weekend. The other, Baden-Württemberg, is being watched perhaps more closely. Why?
Well, Phil, as ever, these state elections will be looked at for a sense of where the national mood is heading. And what you need to understand is the CDU, the Christian Democrats, are the country's most popular party nationally, about 33% support in polls. And indeed, for most of the past year, they've polled more than double any other party. But of course, that can change. And what we're seeing in Baden-Württemberg is a drop in Christian Democrat support by about a fifth over recent weeks, and it's also been ebbing away in Rhineland-Palatinate, you saw there. So the question is why? Well, I think one of the big reasons, the things that's preoccupying voters around the country at the moment is Corona, of course. There's a sense that the government has not done a great job on vaccinations. Of course, lockdowns have got people really fatigued. And now there are stories of Christian Democrat parliamentarians even seeking to enrich themselves by, organising deals for Corona face masks. So we're seeing a dent in support that may be played out this weekend. And the question will be, in Baden-Württemberg, can the Green Christian Democrat coalition that's in government in that state carry on? If it can't, if it drops out, well, that'll be a blow for Angela Merkel's Conservatives and could have an impact in terms of support going forward to September in the national election.
Right. So what sort of clues might Sunday's vote be able to give us about the shifts in preferences ahead of that general election in September?
Well, as I say, the key thing is the trend around the CDU. If it's not possible to continue that green CDU coalition there, then that could have national significance. There's been a lot of speculation in recent years about the possibility of something similar being tried at national level. So if such a coalition were to disappear, and Angela Merkel, as we know, is also stepping down, she's disappearing politically. So that could mean tough times ahead for the Christian Democrats. Another thing to talk about is the Social Democrats. They are, of course, in government still at national level, but they've been struggling to rebuild after disastrous results in recent years at national polls. The thing will be, if they can come back a bit, if they can do well in these elections at the weekend without taking away votes from Greens, that could open up the possibility of left-wing coalitions, Social Democrats, Greens, the likes of which we've seen before. And the third thing I'd mention, Phil, is if the Conservatives weaken, does that open some space for the far right, the Alternative for Germany on the right? So far, no signs of that happening, but of course, regional elections can throw up some surprises.
And you mentioned Angela Merkel stepping down. I suppose a big question still to be decided is who will be the Conservatives' candidate for Chancellor to succeed her. Is this weekend's vote likely to influence that decision? Briefly, if you wouldn't mind.
It could have an impact, Phil, because the Christian Democrats are going to face a choice, as you say. Pretty much the choice seems to come down to Armin Laschet, the CDU party leader, or on the other side, the Bavarian state leader, Markus Söder. He's a good communicator. He's got a national profile as a man demanding tough action on coronavirus. But most analysts seem to think if the CDU does well this weekend, or at least doesn't lose too badly, that could cement the new leader, Armin Laschet, in his position, and could mean that he has an easy ride to become the party's choice to replace Angela Merkel when the time comes later this year.